Going crazy in my life. Let's get in. This is going to be a collective reading at first, and then I'm going to do the next 4 zodiac signs. Okay? So, collective first. What is it that you need to know from your higher self? All right. Holy Spirit, guide and direct me with these tarot cards. Show us the truth. Show us what we need to know as a collective group. Show the collective what they need to know right now, tonight. First thing is 2 of Pentacles. When life gets chaotic, find a way to get grounded and find a way to be balanced. Hi, Jessie Oak. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much for your donations. I want to give you some free cards when I get a chance. You deserve a whole reading, so keep watching me. Make sure, I don't know if it's going to be tonight, but I do want to give you some free cards. Thank you so much for your donations. I appreciate you. So, getting grounded. Now, that's something everybody hears, and a lot of you guys know probably very well how to get grounded. But taking action on that is obviously a very different thing. We all have a recipe, but we don't always use it, right? So I want you to think of the best way for you to get grounded. Be that literally grounding outside in the grass, putting your feet in a creek somewhere, or in flowers or in soil. If getting grounded for you is just sitting outside and listening to the birds, maybe visiting with your grandma or some elderly people or a neighbor or children, whatever you feel is going to help you just make sense in your life and find that inner peace and just get nice and grounded. This is what you need to do, because life has gotten crazy for you right now. Life has gotten so chaotic. You've been going through ups and downs. You've been trying to deal with financial issues, love issues, family issues, health and body issues. And what this is showing me is you're very beautiful, or you're very handsome, you're very attractive, and you need to spend some love on yourself, some time on yourself. Get a massage, you know, sit in a hot tub, take a bubble bath, just do things for you. So that's coming out. Your higher self wants you to pay attention to that vibe. We also have 3 of Wands. Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. So don't be afraid to take a leap of faith. I feel like there's some things that you want to get started on, but you've been kind of hesitating and waiting. Maybe waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right day. You know, this card is saying, hey, you know, just go ahead and get started. The rest will work itself out. You don't have to figure out all the details right now. Let those work themselves out. Just take the initiative to start that business, make that move, search for what you're searching for, buy what you need to buy. Like, it's like, you know, it's time. Next, we have 6 of Wands. Everything's going to work out, okay? You're going to have a victory. You're going to have a success in whatever it is you're seeking out to do right now. You're going to be popular also. If you're going to be seen publicly, I feel like take a leap of faith. I think you're going to be well known, whether on a social media presence or some other way. You're going to be well known. And, you know, you're kind of a big deal. So start acting like it. Don't act like you're some small time no one. Then we have the Tower in reverse. That's interesting. You're afraid of failing. And then we have 7 of Wands. So you're kind of defensive, honestly, low-key. You're defensive and you're worried that you're going to fail. And you're just really emotional. And I think you're scared to open your business, or scared to show your face, or scared to go forward on this project or this little adventure that you're trying to go on. because you think it's just not going to work out in the end. The cards are saying the opposite. The cards are urging you, pressuring you even, to go after this mission. And you know what the mission is in your life. Each of you do have a different mission, but you know what yours is. But when you get the Tower in reverse, you're probably fighting against the changes that are happening, whether you like it or not. It's okay to be afraid, to be worried about what's going to happen next. But there's no reason for you to be afraid, because you're going to get through this change. It's unfortunate that you can't skip the hard times to get to the good times in life, but we all have to get through them. And I think this is a period of time that if you just put in some of the work, and it is a difficult period, that it will pay off. And whoever came to kind of disrupt you or put you down or put you in your place or caused you to stumble in some way, they will be held accountable for what they did to you. So whoever wronged you, they're going to be brought to justice. That's what I feel with the Seven of Wands. Okay, and I feel like this person loves you. We have Queen of Cups, but you guys got into some kind of a disagreement, an argument. Maybe your relationship is just on the rocks and you guys are always kind of back and forth in arguments. But I feel like this one might have been one of the worst in a long time. And, you know, listen, someone's finally going to get called out. Someone's going to get called out on their bad behavior. And let's hope that person handles it well. People make mistakes. It doesn't make them a bad person necessarily, but sometimes they have to choose to fix what they've ruined. And you have to choose to respond once you've been confronted with a big problem, and so do they. And however you guys responded, someone didn't choose the right response. The best thing to do right now is honestly the simplest thing. First, listen and try to understand the situation. Maybe understand where they're coming from, maybe apologize. You know, the phrase, "I'm sorry," is one of the most powerful spells there is. Last, do better when you know better. And that's really not too difficult if you think of it. So I think your higher self is like, you know, they put you back, but they didn't keep you down. You've been in a holding period with the Two of Pentacles. You've been on the fence, you've been put back, but you're about to step forward into a victory. And before you know it, you're going to be sipping your tea, your Mai Tai, or your coffee somewhere wonderful, enjoying a life that you deserve. So honor the emotions that are inside of you right now. Honor them. Respect them. That is the highest form of self-care. And I do think some of you guys are going to be moving to some place by the water. So get ready to move somewhere by water. Or travel and like hang out and be around a place where there's a lot of water. But the Queen of Cups is sitting here enjoying a large glass of water. It's important to hydrate. She cried a bit this afternoon. This card represents an adult who's in tune with their emotions and isn't embarrassed to show them. It also represents someone at any stage of life with these qualities. And they're the one you vent to at the end of a hard day because their comforting words are unmatched. But be sure to check on them too, because being an empath is far from easy. Taking time away from others to replenish oneself is important. Otherwise, how would they have the energy to take care of others? So you're either the person that needs help or you are the helper. But definitely what I see coming for you is peace, relaxation, and even a move for a lot of you. I do see a move. I feel like this is a time in your life that you've been waiting for. I feel like you've been planning to make this move or put yourself in this limelight, put yourself in this place. And I see that it's finally coming together. There's a lot of people against you. There's a lot of people that don't want to see you succeed. But you're going to succeed anyways, and you're going to succeed right in front of them. I think you didn't want to move without somebody. I feel like you wanted to take someone with you. But they didn't want to come. This could be metaphorical or literal, but they didn't want to come with you. Anyways, you're going to be moving on by yourself, more than likely. I do think you're going to make new friends. I do think you're going to get really adjusted, and by October, I feel like you're going to be really settled in a new life. So that's a message from your higher self. All right, so now we're going to get into the zodiac signs that I've been needing to get to. There's 4 of them. Let's start with Aries. Somebody requested Aries yesterday, so now I'm finally going to get to Aries. What does Aries need to know? What is a message from Aries' higher self? Hi, Ling. Show me Aries. First card out, Aries, is the 4 of Wands in the reverse. And this is about family, is whoever makes you feel the most safe and comfortable being you. So family is the ones that make you feel safe and comfortable just being yourself. And who are you, Aries? Are you quick-tempered? Are you exciting? Are you fun? Are you a go-getter? Are you a leader? Yeah. Are you hot-tempered sometimes? You bet. Are you the spark? Yes, you are. But a lot of people need that in their lives, your spark, and it shouldn't ever be put out. And your family, they should love you for who you are, even if you are a little feisty. So let's take a look at what you've been going through. Aries, the page number on here is 111. That might mean something to you, 111. But it says you haven't experienced the concept of found family, which makes you sad because you haven't found yours yet. Doesn't mean that you won't. Perhaps there are people in your life that you're overlooking. Make sure you're open to receiving their love. So I get the sense that you've been trying to make friends with people and you're trying to build this group. And the first image that came to my mind was Fast and the Furious. So that whole group, it was Dom, he had his girlfriend, he had his sister, his biological sister, he had his best friend that he grew up with. He had a few other guys he picked up along the way that became like brothers to him. And it was their own little group, and it was what he considered family because he didn't have his parents. And they didn't have their parents either. So they kind of just made this little unit their family. That's what came to my mind. But Keep in mind, Aries, if your family doesn't get put together so easy, if you're trying to build this little fast and furious family with your friends and it's not working because you guys aren't on the same page, you don't see things eye to eye, you're not going in the same direction, this is like, it's okay to let them go. Let Saturn filter out your friend list. Let Saturn get rid of some toxic people. They were never meant to be in your circle anyways. And just because you haven't found this little tight circle yet doesn't mean you won't. And when it said, keep an eye on who you've been overlooking, there's some close people right around you. Perhaps it's your brother and you haven't hung out with him in years. Perhaps it's your neighbor. Perhaps it's your aunt or your cousin. Don't overlook people. There might be people right in front of you that you're kind of overlooking that would be the perfect fit in your circle. Heck, it could be your mom. It could be, moms make best friends sometimes. It could be your uncle, could be your aunt, could be a coworker, could be some kid down the street that you hadn't even gotten a chance to know yet. So yeah, stick your neck out there. Find some new faces. Okay, that's what I'm feeling. Show me what else Aries needs to know. Oops. So Aries needs to know King of Swords and then Judgment in the reverse. Wow. So we can learn some important things from one another. I think you are being very outspoken. You might be typing up a message, writing a book, voicing your opinion. You're just putting your words out there. And I think you're thinking of it constructively. I think you're doing really well at watching what you say before you say it. And you're really conscious about your words right now. Now, when Judgment comes in reverse, I think you might be a little too picky. You might be too hard on yourself, too critical on what you're writing or what you're saying or speaking. So calm down on nitpicking words. Words are funny things. They're just descriptive. They're descriptive of feelings. And there is a million words to describe someone's feelings. So if someone chooses the wrong word, don't tear them down. And if you choose the wrong word, don't tear yourself down either. We're just trying to describe how we feel, what we think, what we imagine. It's just that. So with Judgment in reverse, I think you've made some bad judgment calls, Aries. To be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. We have the 10 of Cups in reverse. Again, this is kind of like a sad family. And then we've got the 2 of Cups in the upright. Bottom of the deck here is the Moon. And look at her. She's writing. Taking time for deep self-reflection is essential. To be honest, Aries, you're being pushed away from your friend groups that you want to be your family, or you're being pushed away from your family.